The folks on the front lines tell us they feel like they're going into battle, so to speak, against this coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
The novel coronavirus.
The coronavirus
continues to spread.
Now a global health emergency.
A global health
emergency.
The novel coronavirus outbreak is a public health emergency of international concern.
Hey, Janina here. So it's been a while. So sorry that I've been gone. I've been focusing a lot more on like volunteer work. If you want to see my video on that, youth volunteers, and the link will be down below. Pero ang dami kasing nagre-request ng research video tungkol dito. And syempre, I had to do it because it affects almost the entire Philippines and almost the entire world. Ito siguro yung pinakamahirap na video na ni-researchan ko dahil hindi naman ako doktor, hindi ako expert sa mga diseases or viruses. Dahil din hindi lang rin isang bansa yung apektado dito. There are many countries involved. Plus, there are so many updates almost every few hours that I had to keep revising my script. So lahat ng mga facts na i-present ko, they're updated only till February 2, which is today, the day that I'm filming this. So tomorrow, when this comes out, it could be completely different. But as for now, this is what I have. When it comes to my research videos, sinusubukan ko talagang maging unbiased, which has been tough for me because if you know me in person, I'm the most opinionated and loud and fiery person when it comes to my beliefs. But for the sake of the research videos, I want to be able to post my research and facts the most unbiased way that I can, just so that you guys can formulate your own conversations and thoughts and beliefs on your own. However, in this video, just a little disclaimer, I'm not against a particular government, a particular administration, a particular official. I am just for our people. But right now, for me, the best way that I can fight for our people, quote unquote, is with the facts that I found along with what I think about them. Are you ready? Let's go! So as of January 31, 29 countries have confirmed cases of novel coronavirus or nCoV for short. And as of today, karamihan ng mga namatay sanhi nito ay nagmumula sa China. Actually, all deaths related to this virus occurred in China until this morning. But we will talk about that more later. Base sa update ng CNN noong January 31, 51 na yung mga pasyenteng iniimbestigahan para sa novel coronavirus dito sa Pilipinas. Originally 56, 6 have been discharged with 1 passing due to health complications unrelated to nCoV. Okay, pero as of January 30, na-confirm na natin ang first case ng nCoV dito sa Philippines. She is a 38-year-old woman who came from Wuhan, traveled through Hong Kong to the Philippines. Nag-arrive siya dito ng January 21 at nagpa-admit siya on January 25 due to mild cough. Siguro nakita niyo na to sa social media, but they have also announced that they are tracking the people who have had contact with her, as after she arrived on the 21st, for 4 days, she was traveling through Cebu and Dumaguete. Pero as of now, asymptomatic na daw siya, meaning she's not showing any symptoms or signs of illness, of fever, of things like that. According to my research, naka-quarantine po siya sa San Lazaro Hospital in Manila, as well as 2 other patients. Okay, so here is the thing that's a little bit off script because it's very recent. This morning, the first nCoV-related death outside of China happened here in the Philippines. So medyo nabigla po talaga ako, and I'm sure the rest of the Philippines, but me, a lot. Dahil nagre-research po ako mga how many days, about half a week, and I never came across the second confirmed nCoV case in the Philippines. Hindi ko alam kung na-miss ko lang yung mga articles or hindi lang pinalabas. But apparently, the deceased was traveling with the first confirmed case, so the woman. Basically, I wasn't aware that there was a second confirmed case. And I guess especially with the World Health Organization declaring this as a public health emergency, I would really like to plead, demand for complete transparency, especially when this is very pertinent to the lives of Filipinos and many other people all over the world. But then again, I could just have missed it, so let's move on. Wow, this is weird. This makes all of my research really weird. Because the samples from the unnamed Chinese woman was among 6 others sent to the Victorian Infectious Disease Reference Laboratory in Australia for testing early last week. Pero negative po ang 5 samples na pinadala. Which was kind of weird to me because she was confined the same day as her partner who had even more severe symptoms as she did, as she had mild cough but he had fever, sore throat, and pneumonia. Siguro ngayon kasi ang dami ko ng tanong. Like when I wrote this, I thought that I had figured it out. But now I have more questions than when I started because hindi ko alam kung hindi napadala yung blood samples niya or hindi siya, or kung kailan siya na-diagnose, kung wala siyang symptoms nung pina-confine siya, or pero meron namang I don't know. Anyway, so originally kasi we had to send our blood samples to Australia because we didn't have the test kits needed to test people for nCoV, but now we do because we acquired it from Japan, I think last week, and so it will allow us to test patients for nCoV and get results within 48 hours, and this will cut testing time by 50%. In light of how this virus has been radically spreading worldwide, the United States has issued a travel ban, as did Singapore. Kinlose na rin ng Russia at Papua New Guinea ang mga borders nila, and on their own prerogative, Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific have reduced flights China to Philippines. But what about our government? What is our government doing? Well, President Duterte has issued a temporary travel ban on travelers from Wuhan City alone, which sounds great. But Wuhan has been on lockdown for the last couple of weeks, so nung tinanong siya kung bakit hindi complete travel ban yung inimpose niya, like US, Singapore, Russia, Papua New Guinea, this is what he said. Mahirap yung sabihin mo you'll suspend everything because they are also not suspending theirs and they continue to respect the freedom and flights that we enjoy in their country. Health Secretary Francisco Duque said, if we do this in the concerned country, China in this case, might question why we're not doing the same for all other countries that have reported cases of nCoV. It's very tricky, but we commit to take this into consideration. I'm not a government official, so I have no idea what kind of pressure they are feeling right now. It's just that I personally believe that the Filipino citizens' welfare should be prioritized regardless of what drastic decisions or actions have to be taken. I wonder if the virus originated from the Philippines. Would China say the same thing and not close their borders to us? We sent 3 million masks to China on January 26, and a few days ago they sent us masks back in the number of 2,000. Next. Hey guys, so as I was editing this, I came across the update that President Duterte expanded the travel ban to include travelers to and from mainland China, Hong Kong, and Macau, so yay! Nagsimula yung nCoV sa Wuhan City sa Hubei Province. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Kino-consider ang Wuhan as a major transport hub in the country, and now Chinese officials have medics taking the temperatures of Chinese or anybody flying out of the country. Yung mahirap lang kasi ngayon, some cases of nCoV can be asymptomatic, or yung iba hindi lumalabas yung mga symptoms until about a week or 2 after they get infected. Base sa mga Chinese health officials, malaki ang posibilidad na nagsimula yung virus sa mga animals na binebenta sa live market sa Wuhan City. So coronavirus is actually a large family of viruses. Several known coronaviruses infect people and usually only cause mild respiratory diseases. Isa dito ay ang common cold. Some people call it the Wuhan coronavirus, ngayon tinatawag na natin siyang nCoV, N for novel, new or unfamiliar, Co for corona, and V for virus. In-announce ng Chinese state media ang nCoV noong December 31 after 44 people in the Wuhan city were infected. Initial reports referred to the infection as mysterious viral pneumonia dahil ini-exhibit ng mga infected ay parang flu-like symptoms, ubo, lagnat, shortness of breath, and difficulty in breathing. Dahil bago lang yung virus, wala pang definite cure or treatment. However, for current cases, most of their symptoms have disappeared in a few days. But if a coronavirus virus infection spreads to your lower respiratory system, like your windpipe or your lungs, it can cause sicknesses like bronchitis or pneumonia, especially for those with weakened immune systems. Actually, 1/4 ng mga infected ang mga kasong naging sobrang severe because most had mild symptoms and cases lang. Karamihan ng mga namatay ay may underlying health problems na naging complications na lang siya or mas matanda sa 60 years old according to the World Health Organization. As of February 1, 12,029 cases of nCoV were confirmed worldwide and had 259 deaths, which is a fatality rate of 2.1%. Just for context, the seasonal flu, the one we all get, kills about 300,000 to 650,000 all over the world every year. Also, nCoV isn't airborne, meaning it isn't transported in the air, pero hindi lang dahil dito hindi ka na magmamask. Pwede ka pa rin mahawa if somebody infected sneezes or coughs, you inhale or you ingest, you taste the droplets, and that's how you could get sick as well. That's why I still recommend wearing a mask at all times. If you see me in public, I'm wearing a mask almost all the time. I see a lot of people wearing masks as well. Yun lang, nakita ko silang tinatanggal nila yung mask nila when they're talking to somebody, which for me defeats the purpose because you're actually safer in open air than you are when you're talking to somebody because there's saliva and you get it. Actually, sa China, karamihan ng mga kaso, animal to human transmission ang dahilan kung ba't sila na-infect. Meron rin human to human transmission, but it's mostly seen in family members or people who are taking care of the ill, meaning to say most of the people who get infected are really in close contact with the infected. Na-mention ko rin to kanina, the World Health Organization has declared this as a public health emergency dahil sa exponential growth of numbers for worldwide cases. During the WHO Director General statement, he said, the main reason for this declaration is not because of what is happening in China, but because of what is happening in other countries. Our greatest concern is the potential for the virus to spread to countries with weaker health systems and which are ill-prepared to deal with it. So kahit hindi automatically fatal yung disease because most do recover from it, especially if you have strong immune systems, I still believe that immediate action has to be taken. Especially para sa mga mas vulnerable dito, yung mga lolos natin, lolas, yung mga kilala natin may illness na or people who can't afford treatment. Sabi ni Senator Bongo last week na nag-schedule na si President Duterte ng meeting with medical experts and key government officials to discuss all necessary measures to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus next week. So he said this last week, meaning hopefully they will meet about it this week because honestly, we can't wait any longer. Something has to be done ASAP. Pero hindi dahil hindi pa nagmi-meeting ang ating presidente ay ibig sabihin na hindi tayo kikilos. We can still do what we can to protect ourselves and to protect those around us. Number 1, be informed. What we need now is facts, not fear. Go to reliable sources. Syempre, we have to do our best to educate ourselves so that we can educate the people around us. Because obviously the best way for us to prevent the spread of this all over the Philippines, all over the world, is to protect ourselves. And to do that, we have to be informed. Number 2, be wise. Take the necessary precautions. It's still better to be safe than sorry. There's still so many unanswered questions. Like right now, maybe it isn't airborne, maybe tomorrow it might be. Let's just be careful. I'm sure nakita niyo lahat ng mga infographics all over the internet. Wash your hands, cook your meat thoroughly, avoid crowded places, at kung may nafe-feel na kayo mga symptoms ng nCoV, some of the ones that I mentioned or some of the ones that you read online, take initiative to self-quarantine yourself or get yourself checked if you need to. Because of course, we're not just caring for ourselves, we're also caring for the people that we will meet and be in contact with that day. Number 3, and this one is so important because racism and xenophobia has been so prevalent right now. Number 3 is to be kind. Remember, we are against the virus, not the entire race. In the last week, ang dami kong narinig na I don't know, just horrific stories of how Chinese children were bullied and they were chased and they were made afraid, how Chinese people have cried in elevators because they've been physically harassed by Filipinos who think that, you know, automatically because they're Chinese, they have the virus, and it's just, that's not who we are. Let's not lose our morality in our panic. Crises like these, they bring out who you are, and so let's choose to let it bring out the best in us and not the worst. Whatever is happening, so let's just use it to unite us instead of divide us. Okay, so I actually have a fourth one. Number 4 is vote wisely next election. Joke. No, but seriously, let's pray for our government. Let's pray for wisdom so that they can make decisions for the best interest of our countrymen, because that's why the people elected them in the first place. And I don't think that we should expect any less from them. And of course, pray for our countrymen. Pray for the Philippines. Pray for the world, yo. So yun, pagkatapos ng lahat ng na-research ko, lahat ng mga facts na sinabi ko, syempre madaling parang maging negatibo na lang, or maging hopeless na lang, especially after seeing the reality and the despair of this generation. But I'm still in faith that, you know, humanity will survive and we will come out both stronger and also wiser after this. So yun, sorry, medyo napahaba yung video na to. There's just so many things to say. I hope nakatulong siya. If you have new information, comment it down below. If you have updates, comment down below as well. What do you think? Yeah, so I will see you guys later, and let's all be a little kinder. Bye!